Hello and welcome to LJM Photo Studio's YouTube channel. Today we're going to go through how to cull all of your photos in Lightroom. Okay, so first thing you want to do is obviously put your memory card into your computer and get them ready for import. Personally, this is all based on what I do. I have a mouse that I use until I edit the pictures. Then once I edit the pictures, I move away and use a graphics tablet. There's a lot of options for graphics tablets out there. There's a lot of Wacoms. They're expensive. I started out with a smaller price. It's a 10 by 8, 6.5 or something like that. And it was only, I think, $60. And I've yet to upgrade it because I like it. I really enjoy it. It seems to do what I need. I have used Wacom tablets before. They seem pretty similar. Maybe I'll upgrade when this one dies. I'm still using the original pen. I've had it since 2012. I've only been through, it's my third battery in the pen. So it's not really a big giant deal. I like it. I recommend it. Anyway, here we go. We're going to open Lightroom. Wait for it. All right, so what you want to do is make sure that your pictures in your camera are shot in RAW. Because if you don't, you really can't adjust the white balance. You can't really get many details out of the shadows. Shooting RAW is going to help you a lot in post. So all right, here we go. So once you have Lightroom open, you want to click on the import button right here. And then you go down to your memory card. This is my nephew Mason. And there's so many options in here. I do copy as DNG. Now the Nikon shoot .nef as their RAW file. I do DNG because it seems to be more compatible with Adobe products. DNG is digital negative. It's made by Adobe. It's an Adobe thing, and NEF is a Nikon thing. So once I get out of my Nikon and start using my Adobe softwares, I think it's a better option, especially in the long term, to use DNG because it's always going to be compatible no matter what. If Adobe decides one day that they're not going to support NEF, all the years of NEF files that I would have, they're not usable anymore. So that's why I choose DNG. Anyway, so you can choose to build your one-to-one previews, minimal, embed it in sidebar, and standard. I choose one-to-one. I will get into more of this later. You can build smart previews on import. What smart previews do is if you save all of your files on an external USB hard drive, and if you don't have that hard drive connected, you can still do basic edits. Now you can't do exports, you can't do the final, like a print high resolution export, but you can do edits on the road if you need to, or if that hard drive is not connected. Don't import duplicates. This will make sure, I've already done the import, so all these gray out because they are already in the library. You can choose to make a second copy too. What I have is I have a temporary drive. Right here is my temporary drive, and I do my photo backup. So on import, I import into the Lightroom library or the catalog, and I also do a second copy to here, and I don't know, just for safety. You never know. Let's see here now. Apply during import. You can choose different presets to apply when they import. I choose not to do this. I like to do everything once they're already imported. It seems that once these are all, once all the pictures are affected by the same thing. See, that's the thing. All these pictures on import, they're going to be affected by the same exact preset that you choose. It's just easier to do in post, I think. let's see. So we can do the way that I have my computer set up. I have the operating system on one hard drive. I have a temporary or scratch drive, and I also save my temporary photo backups to that. And I have a couple of USB drives hanging off of it. I do have a separate hard drive for my Lightroom storage. Now this is 2 hard drives in a RAID, so if one hard drive dies, the other one is still there. So basically, when you copy to one hard drive or one RAID set, it's copying to both hard drives at the same time. So under Lightroom storage, we choose photos, and what I usually do is I give it the date first, the year, month, day. And what is today's date? Today's the 18th, 19th. Why I missed the day. So anyway, so today is the 19th, and we'll call this Mason. Once that's all selected, once you've chosen everything you want to do, you just hit import. And these will slowly import, and they're going to build the previews. So as that's building previews, now I move away from my mouse and grab this pen. It's much easier. So, oh man, there's so many different options in Lightroom. But we're basically just going to go to the way I call the photos and just do some basic edits on them. So what we can do is we can double click. We're going to go through them all quick. See, this is one I don't want, and this is the one I do want. So I'm going to rate it. You can do number ratings from 1 to 5. You can do color ratings from 6 to 9. I choose just to rate them as a 5 for myself. That seems to work pretty well. So I like this picture. It's going to be a 5. It's pretty funny. I like this one. That's going to also be a 5. Okay, so now what we do. You know what? I'm going back. I like this one as well. So now under your filters, you can do filter rated. So it'll only show the ones that you just rated a 5. You can choose what level you want to rate. If you rate some as a 4, you can choose 4. If you rate some as a 5, you can choose 5. And here we go for the basic edit. So you're going to hit D for the develop module, or just click up here on develop if you want. Once you're in the develop module, you're going to choose your white balance. Now you can choose this eyedropper, and you can have somebody hold a gray card or a white card to white balance it if you want. And as you move around with this eyedropper, you can look up at the preview window and you can see it changing in real time, which is pretty neat. So you can choose a white tooth, you can choose the white background. Nothing is perfectly white. What I like to do is I use a preset a lot, so flash works typically in the studio for me, but I do like it a little bit warmer, so I will warm it up a little bit right there. The exposure looks nice to my eye. Exposure is objective, like is it proper or not? That's a tough question. I can bring the exposure up and make it more properly exposed, but I don't like that. So I'm going to bring these down. All right, so now we have our white balance selected. I want to bring the blacks down. Get some shadow detail out of it. Okay, so that is enough for the basic settings. I typically start from the bottom here. It's a portrait, so I choose camera portrait. Here's something that a lot of photographers don't use: the camera calibration. I use it all the time. I use portrait, Then once you select portrait, here's a tip. Go to blue primary at the very bottom where it says saturation and crank that up. Look what happens to the skin tones. Bring it back down. I love what it does. So then we can go to these are just basic edits. Now you can go to your lens corrections if you want, and Lightroom will choose whatever lens you used, and it will fix any distortion, any vignetting. Also, that's to taste. Detail. The detail will be your sharpening. If you need any noise reduction, this was shot at ISO 200, so there's not going to be any noise. I use a G3. If you want to add a vignette, you can go to your effects and add your vignetting if you want. It's a white background, so I choose not to. If you ever need to set any of these back to 0, like say you cranked your vignette way up, instead of going back and trying to hit 0, here's a tip. Double click on the word, like say right here it says amount, it brings it right back to 0 for you. All right, so that is the basic editing. So now to sync all the pictures, which is going to save a lot of time, especially if you do a wedding and you have, say, like 800 pictures. You can apply the same basic settings to all 800 of those pictures. Then you can go through individually and tweak if you need to. So I'm going to hold down Shift, select the last one and the first one. Then you're going to see this button here that says Sync. Now, in Sync, you have synchronization settings. You can choose what you want to sync. So we're going to do check none, so it'll deselect everything. So we edited white balance. We did some shadows, some black clipping. We did calibration as well. We didn't do anything else. So we're going to hit synchronize. And so basically you can see the previews change. This is going to affect every single one of the pictures the same way. So it's going to apply the same settings to every one. You can see I have a little bit of flash stand in the background. Go to your crop. Hold down Shift to maintain the aspect. And you could bring it down. Pretty easy. Here's another one. Hold down Shift, grab the corner, umbrella is gone. Done. Well, I want to bring him more toward the center if I can. So, and as you crop, you can see it breaks it up in thirds. So his nose is fairly in the middle, close enough. All right, good to go. So that's basically how I call and do a basic edit on my pictures from my camera. There's a lot more to editing pictures. There's exporting to Photoshop. There's so much that I want to talk about, and I will do that in future videos. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe.